Now, there are many reasons why developers don't last today. It could just be the lack of skills, being frustrated with projects, not having systems to be productive. There are a couple reasons why developers are leaving the tech space, or at least they don't last at a company or with the client. One of the reasons that is either burnout or having that lack of work-life balance. Now, I personally don't believe in work-life balance. Work-life balance to me is you're doing 50-50 with work and life. It doesn't make sense to me. You're either going 100% on one thing or you're not. Because we can't multitask. It's either we're doing 100% on work, 100% on life things. It can never be a mixture of both, at least in my opinion. But what some developers will do, they figure, okay, I'm just gonna work as hard as I can on getting things done, and I'm going to get a promotion. I'm going to have all these skill sets under my belt because I worked so hard to obtain them. I'm here to tell you, bro, that's not the case. It's just not the case. Working hard will not get you to where you need to be. You need to create systems to where it makes you more productive in less time. So what I mean by that is, if I have a project that's due in 2 months and there's a lot of complexity to it, back-end complexity, some front-end complexity, and try to tie all that stuff together, how would I go about doing this in 2 months? I could just go the conventional route of working on the easiest stuff, then the hardest, or I could do it in the reverse order and actually work on the hardest thing first, then the easiest, and then I save a lot more time. Because all my brain power is going into that hardest thing. I'm breaking that down into smaller pieces. I'm understanding the requirements better, and I'm just working at it every single day of the week until that hardest task is done. And then all the easy stuff is just plug and play at that point. Doing that reverse psychology of hardest to easiest is gonna not only make you better as a developer, but then also free up a lot of your time. It's gonna free up a lot of your time. So think about it that way. If you don't want to burn out, do the hardest thing first. Don't work 12 hours a day. Unless you have your own company, I understand completely, because you got to do what you got to do. But if you're working on a job and you're working for a client, do the hardest thing first. And then you're going to notice how much more productive you are and how much time you have to do other things in life. Number 2 is your lack of soft skills. If you don't have soft skills, you're not gonna go anywhere. Like, developers usually don't last because they can't explain their expertise on certain things or a solution to a problem. I used to have that problem too, starting out. Like, I had severe imposter syndrome to the point where I wasn't really comfortable with sharing my solution to a problem. And I got over that just by exposure to having to do it. I had to make myself do it every single time I had to present something. Just like with presentations too. The only way I got better at presentations was doing this YouTube channel. Was just turning on the camera, practicing, practice, understanding, topics and just going with the flow. And that helped me tremendously. That helped me in my career as well. Soft skill wise, I could have conversations and I actually have the confidence to explain my solutions to other problems and actually mentor junior developers on what they should do. So being able to work on your soft skills is gonna give you so much more opportunities as opposed to just working on code all the time. You could be the best programmer in the world. You could learn as much as you can and apply as much as you can, but at the end of the day, your soft skills is where you're gonna make it. So don't neglect those soft skills. It's gonna give you so much more opportunity. Like, that's something that I learned late in my career. And I'm telling you guys right now, if you focus on that now, if you're in your early 20s, communication is going to be key for you. You're going to notice how much you improve your communication right now, how much faster you'll get to your end goal. It's going to make you better for it. So that's why developers don't last, is because they don't have the soft skills. So incorporating your soft skills in your coding, you got the blueprint right there. Another thing is the mismatch of the company, and this happens. I worked at companies that I thought that was going to be a good fit for me, but then I realized at the end of the day, it really wasn't a good fit. I'm not a culture fit. And that's completely fine. It's not going to be perfect at the end of the day. You got to roll with the punches and you got to do what you got to do. But if the company is overworking you, if you're not getting any meaningful projects, if you're not moving up, then that's something that you have to consider in your career. Do you think sticking it out here will actually give you a return on your investment? Meaning that you're learning as you're growing with the company? Or are you staying in the same spot and everybody else is moving along and you're just stagnant? If you're stagnant, you need to move on to something else and you need to find a company or at least a mentor that's going to push you in the right direction. All right. So keep that in mind. Like, don't just chase the money. Like, if the salary looks good, but it's very monotone, you're going to be miserable and you're not going to last. You're just not. So don't chase the money, chase the growth opportunities. But another reason is like limited career growth and then also like lack of mentorship. So if you're on your own on an island and you're just coding, that's all you're doing, and you're just working on projects and you're not getting the recognition that you deserve, you're not getting any call outs on certain things, you're just writing code and just pushing it up to the code base and that's it, you're not going to learn from your mistakes. You're not going to know what's a good standard versus what's not. You're not going to adapt new methodologies to get better as a developer. So what a lot of developers do, if they run into that, they move on to other opportunities, or they stop coding altogether because they just can't figure out what they're doing wrong. And this happens. It's okay. It's not the end of the world. But the faster you understand that and have a good mentor that could help you understand where your mistakes are and get you on the right track is going to help you tremendously. If you need someone to help you with your portfolio or just understanding where you want to go, what your why is in development, let me know. I'm cool with just having a one-on-one conversation with you. If you don't want to do that, we could talk on email at thefullstackbro@gmail.com. Let me know what you want to do. And I got you guys. Like, this channel is here to help aspiring developers achieve their goals. I just want to spread my knowledge, the knowledge of that I got in my career with you guys, so that you could become more successful. And I enjoy that now. That's something that I probably wouldn't say like a couple years back, but now this is something that I want to do. But having a mentor is crucial. If you have a mentor that's going to help you grow, is going to solve a lot of the pain points that you're dealing with, and you're going to have that reassurance that you're either going the right direction or you're not, and how to steer you back on track to get you to that path of success. So the next point is not getting enough challenges on projects. Some developers don't last because they're not getting challenged enough and they move on to another company. That's totally understandable. If you're working on mundane tasks like changing this text or this color and just updating easy stuff all the time, you're going to get bored. So keeping that fire alive, you have to work on projects on your own to make it more challenging. So building an app that actually solves a real world problem. If you do that, you're going to be more inclined to learn as much as you can, solve as many problems as you can, and actually have a project that is valuable on your portfolio, to where if you decide to leave your company and part ways, you could actually show that you have this project under your belt, that you took time to actually build it, and explain in detail how you were able to go about building that project. And it's going to give you brownie points because you did that. Then the last thing is just personal interest. Like, what do you want to do long-term as a developer? Do you want to code for the rest of your life? Do you want to become a manager, a dev manager? Do you want to become a senior developer that mentors other developers, a tech lead, a software architect? There's so many different areas in tech that you could jump into. If you're not really feeling coding anymore, you could go the managerial route, and just work on solving problems for your developers every single day. And some people love that. They love being the manager of just making sure that their team is doing well, that they showcase their skills correctly, that they delegate some of the responsibilities to the developers that actually are hungry and want it, to where they are finding new technologies, they're finding new integrations to make the team a lot better and more productive. And that's something that I had to do to transition myself from not just a full stack developer, but also someone that is respected in the space and knows what they're talking about. Okay. And that was hard. Just had to do the hard things and be like, you know what? I'm going to do as much research on this particular project. I'm going to present it the way I think it would be beneficial for the team. Just be myself, basically. Be myself, present whatever information I can, and make sure that if there's questions, answer those questions, and just take it in stride that I actually provided value. And that's helped me tremendously in my career. So that's it, guys. That's the video. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. Let me know in the comments whether you're having these thoughts of being a developer or still pursuing that career, and you're trying to put a halt to that, and whether this list has helped you understand what's possible and why this happens. All right, we'll talk soon.